Georgia officials are investigating potential criminal interference in the state's 2020 elections.
And now they want to hear from some of former President Trump's legal team. A Fulton County grand jury has subpoenaed 7 people, including former Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani and South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham.
For more, let's bring in senior reporter Tamar Hallerman. She's with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Tamar, welcome. Great to have you with us. So, can you break down why authorities want to speak with all of these people and the alleged roles they played in trying to overturn the 2020 election? Because we know that this investigation has been going on for a while, correct?
Yeah, this investigation was launched in February 2021. Prosecutors impaneled a special grand jury back in May, and they've been hearing over the last couple weeks from a parade of witnesses, many of them local and state officials, some of whom have had direct contact with Trump and his associates. But this is the first time that prosecutors have kind of pierced the inner circle of Donald Trump. Now, if you look at the folks who were subpoenaed yesterday, 7 in total, most of them fall into 2 buckets. Some were involved in this effort to coordinate a slate of false Republican electors here in Georgia. Many of them, particularly Rudy Giuliani, testified in Georgia in December 2020 about widespread fraud in Georgia, testimony that was quickly refuted by Georgia's election officials. And then you have Senator Lindsey Graham, who placed 2 phone calls of his own to Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger and his aides in November 2020, asking about absentee ballots and the process for counting and throwing them out. So this step is very notable because it's really the first time not only that they've gone outside of Georgia, but they've really kind of moved closer and closer to the top of the pyramid, closer and closer to former President Trump.
Well, you touched on it there. What are officials hoping to learn from these Trump allies, and how could this affect the investigation into the January 6th attack at the U.S. Capitol?
I think prosecutors are really interested in learning the motivations behind these folks, kind of what they believed, what they knew when, why they were pushing a lot of these kind of allegations of fraud that were quickly disputed, why they continued to kind of level these allegations even after they were proven wrong by our Secretary of State here in Georgia, and especially what Donald Trump knew and when, what his closest campaign advisors and lawyers were telling them, and what it says about Trump and his involvement in Georgia and efforts to overturn Joe Biden's very narrow win here. When it comes to the January 6th committee, we know that prosecutors here in Georgia are sharing information with the January 6th committee and vice versa. A lot of the things that were uncovered in Washington as part of that investigation have become evidence here in Georgia. And as Lindsey Graham mentioned in his attorney statements this morning, anything that might be said in front of Georgia prosecutors here in Georgia could end up in front of the Select Committee in Washington.
Now, Tamar, they've already subpoenaed some, pretty inner circle folks. Do you think there are more subpoenas that could be coming? Are there more people in former President Trump's inner circle that might be asked to testify?
It's entirely possible. Mark Meadows is the former chief of staff who came down to Georgia in late 2020 to witness some absentee ballot counting. And it's very possible also that the district attorney here might want to talk to Donald Trump herself. She's mentioned that could be a possibility. She said she's open to subpoenaing Trump, even indicting him if she believes that the evidence is there. She hasn't given us any recent indications about that, but Fani Willis, the Fulton County District Attorney, is known as a hard-nosed prosecutor who's kind of willing to do the unpopular things if the facts lead her there. I would not be surprised if she does want to talk to him at the end of the day.
That would be a pretty remarkable development if that happened. All right. Well, Tamar Hallerman, thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.